And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Rector Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay. Hey.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes.
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes. But you know,
Wait, hold up.
you got.
I gotta
when it's
try
time,
this with
when,
you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something
All
funny
right,
and start laughing.
do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
Just a sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Each words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Yeah! Yes, we are back, baby. We back. I'm back. What's up, y'all? Hope you guys are doing well. It's a thirsty, thriving, thrilling Thursday. I hope you guys are having a fantastic one, getting some, staying warm if you're if you're somewhere that's cold, because the temperatures have most definitely just dropped out of the sun. It has been a good one. It's been a long couple days. Excuse me. It's been a long couple days. I will be talking to you guys about that here very, very shortly. If you haven't done it yet, you need to go and check out my community page, because I try to put up a few, I try to put things up there when something big is about to drop, or something that I'm getting done, just getting done doing, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? For those of y'all who are watching on Facebook, I post those things on the Facebook page as well, and on my IG. If ever you want to know, here it is, y'all. If ever you are curious about, what's going on, Pascal? Why is he not there? Why is he not doing his evening show or his morning show? Please go find me on IG, okay? The Pascal Show, one word. Go find me on there. I try to post as much as I can on there, so that you guys on my IG stories, you name it, all that stuff, so that you guys could see what the heck I'm doing, why I'm not doing a show, etc., etc., etc. Okay? But I'll explain here a little bit very, very soon why we haven't been doing a couple shows, or we haven't been doing shows for the past 3 days here very, very shortly. But before I go into those stories, my brothers David and Jackie Buck are on the show today. What a guan, brothers.
What up, man? Good to see you. What's up, David? How you doing today, man?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Everything here is good. How about
you?
you?
Feeling good?
Yeah, I feel great now. Pretty much
Nice.
Everything's over with that.
Well, it's a hoax, huh?
Yeah, it was a hoax.
It's all fake news, right? All of it fake
Exactly.
news. But Jackie, how you doing, man? How you doing? What's been going?
Good,
What's
man.
been popping?
We've had a couple busy days here at the Buck household. We have picked up 2 stray kittens, not stray kittens, but rescue kittens from the Humane Society. So we have added kittens to our family, which is just adorable.
That's what's up. That's nice.
But, it's they're kittens, and they're only 11 weeks old, so they need a lot of attention. And then we got our 13-year-old dog that we need to integrate them into the family coming up. So yeah, just it is what it is. It's it's just a slow integration process, but it could take a couple weeks to get them normal and used to each other. I'm just really hoping, since I've kind of trained her to run outside and chase after the squirrels, that she doesn't see them as the same small animals. So
Right.
yeah,
Interesting.
that's my worst fear. That's one of the things that we debated about was is our dog going to eat the kittens? And so
Yeah.
that's talk about trauma for the kids.
As soon as your dog meets the kittens, he just flips it up in the air and just starts, shaking them vigorously and just snapping their necks. You know what I'm saying? That makes sense. That's fair enough. You know what I'm saying? That's a good fear, or a good concern to have. Real talk. That's a good concern to have. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed for sure. No, so this is something interesting too. My family is expecting as well.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Yes. My dog is pregnant with puppies.
Nice.
From your other dog?
Don't you be talking about my dog like she's some hussy, okay? All right.
Well,
She don't have no wayward, such and such. All right. This woman, this dog is an angel. Okay. Juliet is an angel. You understand? But yeah, she's expecting. She's got puppies on the way. She's got like 3-4 more weeks until we get to introduce puppies into the world. Yes. My dog is not neutered. None of them are. I felt bad. Well, one of them was already not neutered when we rescued him. So it felt like there's no point in doing it now because he was old. He's older. I just felt like why take the boys away from him? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. As much as we think that dogs aren't like, oh, they're just animals, they don't feel anything. I feel like they would remember, hey, I used to have something down there. It used to be like bulbous and hung between my legs, and now it's not there anymore. What the hell? You see what I'm saying? So, with that being said, I just felt like, you know what? It's just, I feel like they remember. You know what I'm saying? And then they look at you with just absolute disdain.
Side eye.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That is this. You did this to me. You know what I mean? And I just don't feel right doing that. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel right doing that. And then we got, okay, so Romeo is obviously our first dog. Juliet is the second dog that we got. And we were just kind of like, well, we are planning on letting them mate anyway. Because, I mean, if he's got the equipment, why not? So if he got lucky enough to keep his boys, why not, let him procreate? So they did. So we finally let that happen. And we don't know how many puppies we're expecting here, but we already got people like reserved to claim some of these dogs, which is very, very exciting. It's cool. Nice. It's never thought I'd ever be. Well, one, I never thought I'd ever be owning a dog. First off, second, 2, 3. Never thought I'd be breeding dogs, but they're going to be really beautiful dogs. I think they're going to be. I'm excited. I'm actually really excited. What mix are they?
Your 2 dogs currently, yeah.
Well, Romeo is a Maltese Yorkie, but he looks more like a Yorkie. And then Juliet is a Dachshund Poodle mix. And she looks like she's got the long body of a Dachshund, but she looks more like a poodle. Yeah. And she's got, she's super smart and all that. So,
All right then.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Bring in some joy, some joy into the world right before Christmas, by the way. Right before Christmas. So there's going to be a lot of people, like I said, that we've been really choosy. Never thought I'd be this guy too. But we've been very choosy about who we are giving a possible puppy to, because we don't know how many puppies are coming out. It could be 2 to 8. You never know. So we're kind of waiting. You know what I'm saying? Which is exciting. Exciting. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be dope. Yeah.
Gotta hook Jack up so he can raise it with his new kittens.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
No. I can only handle so much new animal smells in the house at a time. And kittens already are, they just constantly go to the bathroom because they're like constantly eating. And new puppies are, good luck, having them trained to not make your house stink, Pascal. So.
Yeah, that's something I'm trying to figure out too, because I do not like the smell of dogs. Like, I do not like the smell of dog or like of cat or that wet dog or cat smell. I can't. I can't stand it. So
Nose plugs for Christmas.
yeah. So I mean, I know, but I know that we're gonna have them for a few weeks because obviously Juliet has to do her thing. Be a mom before we can let them be given away or give them to their proper homes, forever homes, hopefully. So I know that I'm just gonna have to deal with some things, and I'm okay with that. It's life. So I'm okay with that. I'll make some exceptions for now. And then also I'm going to be buying like a surplus of Febreze. Do you understand that? And scented candles. Do you understand? Just surrounding the cage where the puppies will be. Trust and believe I'll be doing that. Trust. I'm not like I said, not a big fan of dim smells.
Yeah.
So. I feel you. Just like, what was it? About 2 months ago, I work at this, or sometimes I volunteer at this rescue place, and someone dropped off a sack of like 10 cats, or 10 kittens, and they just kept shitting all over each other for about a week or so straight.
Nummy.
Yeah. Got to smell it every time you walked in.
Yeah. So you imagine that here it is. I'm excited, but I'm not excited about that. I'm not excited about that part. Okay. That's the part I'm going, okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to chill. I'm gonna chill on that. But at the same time, it is life. I said that we were going to let them breed. So it's finally happened. So I'm excited to see what happens. And see what kind of puppies they make. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be very interesting. And it's exciting. It's definitely exciting. But I know a lot of people have been asking, like, hey, the hell, Pascal, where were you for the past 3 days? Well, let me explain something to you guys. If you're not looking at my community page, then you are completely out of the loop, or some people have selective hearing. That's what I think, too. I think people have selective hearing, because I've been saying for the past damn week that I was going to be out of town to interview the champ, Roy Jones Jr., and the thing is that I did that. I went out on Monday. I went out to Pittsburgh, out in the boonies in Pittsburgh or in Pennsylvania, right outside of Pittsburgh, and got to sit down and chop it up with the man that's going toe to toe with Mike Tyson at the end of this month, Roy Jones Jr. So chopping it up with him was absolutely incredible. It was quite an experience, but I was up there and I came right back. So for the past 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I was not able to do any shows because I was out of town. And there's no way I was going to be able to bring all of this ish with me out there. And I didn't even have time. Even if I had all this stuff with me, I did not have time. I was running around with this guy, basically chasing after this guy sometimes, and had a very good experience hanging out with him, checking out his how he trains. I got to talk with his coach, the people who train him, his whole team, and I just got to watch him in action doing what he does, which was an absolute honor, and it was definitely an amazing opportunity. So I cannot wait to show that interview. That interview will be popping off here, hopefully next week. We're literally, as soon as we got in the car, me and the team got back in the car and I was driving our asses back home late at night, through the night to get back home. We were already starting to put things together in the car. So we as soon as we got in the car, we were already locking things in, getting things together, so we knew exactly how we wanted to shape this story, how we wanted people to see this story. And like I said, when it's all said and done, it's going to be a dope ass interview. It's going to be incredible, and I cannot wait for everybody to see this because it's dope. Yes, it's dope. We went through hell. To get this interview. I'm just going to let you know about that. So I hope you guys appreciate the dedication and the persistence that me and my team had just to get this interview accomplished. And it starts from the very inception of this idea to the all the way to the moment that I got to sit down across from him and do a little bit of a crossfire talk. And yeah, it's been a long couple weeks. And yeah, that's all it is. So please be sure to be on the lookout for that. I'll be dropping things like a trailer here soon. Obviously, I'll be putting up photos on the community page so you guys know when those things are, when the actual interview and the episode is going to drop. And like I said, it's something that you want to see. Like if you enjoyed the LeVar Ball interview, you're really going to enjoy, and you're a fan of boxing, you're really going to enjoy the interview I had with Roy. It is fantastic, and like I said, was a huge honor and a huge opportunity to sit across from him. And yeah, you know, this show is just growing, you know, and I'm really excited to show this one off. And hopefully the next one's Tom Cruise. Let's just say that, you know what I mean? Or Denzel, if after his house fire situation, you know what I'm saying? Maybe inside the house that's been on fire, you know, in the actual room. Not on fire, just post-fire. I'm totally kidding. But anyway, so I'm very excited. That's going to be dropping very, very soon. Hopefully sometime next week. I'll have a definitive answer to you guys, like probably over this weekend, just so we can get an idea of when it's going to be dropping, because that fight that he's having with Mike Tyson is coming very, very soon, and we want to get this interview out as soon as we can. But we want to get it well ahead of the fight, because we want people to see what he's got to say about this fight, what he thinks, you know, how he feels about the fight, how prepared is he. He talks about all that, and we talk to his crew and their opinions about the fight and all that. Like I said, it is a really great conversation and a really great episode. Keep a lookout for that. Okay. Another thing I want to say too, though, because, you know, I left, I came back, I looked down at, you know, and I've been watching, you know, I'm obsessively been watching my numbers. Okay. Obsessively or obsessively? Obsessively. Thank you.
Yes.
Obsessively. Wow. I'm like, wow. How do you say it? Obsessively watching my numbers here. All right. And I'm gonna be real talk. Kiss is saying dead people are subscribing to my channel. Yeah. I'm up at 12.2 thousand subscribers. It is amazing. I left town. I came back with 12,000, and I can't be more and more happy to have more people a part of the show, more people a part of the family, and yeah, man, you know, we making moves, baby. We making moves, and it's a beautiful thing. So I wanted to acknowledge that really quick, because I could have sworn like a week ago we were at 10,000, like a week ago. And now we're at 12.2. And I literally was thinking, man, getting to 15,000 is going to take forever. I don't think so anymore. I don't think so. I mean, I say that now, and then, you know, 7,000 months later, we finally cross 15,000. I hope that doesn't happen. But like I said, it is a huge surprise. Regardless, getting the extra 2,200 subscribers over the past week, it has been a blessing, and I'm happy about it. I'm happy as hell. You know what I mean? Welcome to the family, y'all. Whoever's subscribing and willing to deal with my crazy ass. It's a beautiful thing. But anyway, just wanted to say those things. There's a lot to cover or catch up about. The trip was a very long trip. I didn't get back home until it was a 9-hour drive. I drove from my place out to the boonies of Pennsylvania and back within 48 hours ish. And so I didn't get home until like 6 o'clock in the morning. I drove throughout the entire night, all 9 hours. I drove both ways, but I drove all the way through just so I can get back home. And I was hoping to do, that's the funny thing, I was hoping to do a show last night And Tanya Vane was on, David was on with me, and suddenly for some weird reason, YouTube was down. I couldn't turn on anything. Even I was seeing like Tim Pool. There was some other streamers that have their shows and everything. They couldn't do anything. Everything was down. So
Worldwide.
Yeah.
It was literally the minute we were coming on too. It was working about 2 minutes before we got ready to start, and then it just all went out.
Completely went out. So it was weird. I was just like, damn, man. Like, I was ready to come on and just say, hey, y'all, I'm back. Chop it up with you guys for like 30 minutes or so. 35 minutes, just to say that I'm back and I'm alive and explain to you what I've been doing and what I've been through. Not into too great of detail, but just, explain to you my journey, and my Gulliver's travels, or my my Odyssey, from there and back. And it was an interesting trip. One day I will tell you that one day there will be a story time about this particular trip. I'm telling you that it is a story to be told. But yeah, YouTube was down. What the F, man? So there you go. There you have it. Now I'm assuming that they had to. I'm assuming that they had to do some updates or something like that. They did something. It was just weird that they just decided to do it at 7 p.m. In the middle of the evening when everybody's just chilling at home anyway. Everybody's freaking out right now because obviously COVID numbers have been going up. Cases have been spiking. Shoot, there are states and cities that are planning on doing using arenas and fields again. Like, we're almost back to square one again. And there's been states and, like I said, states and cities that are starting to implement certain lockdown things, or they're starting to backtrack a little bit. Just like my city is doing the same thing, which is crazy, which of course we're going to talk about here very, very shortly. But yeah, it's, I had a feeling. Just to get into the news, let's get into the news, shall we? Instead of talking about my trip. Who cares about my trip? So, COVID cases have been spiking. There have been daily cases, like record-breaking cases being counted daily, and I just don't understand how this is going on. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. There was a thing that I heard about where it's like how this has turned into. It has gone from you've heard about people getting it to people that getting it, and that's what's so crazy about how this virus has been spreading and how quickly it's been spreading around. Now I understand David had it. Or is still I guess at the tail end of it right now.
Yeah, I guess technically.
Yeah, technically. Right now, you looking good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel good.
You still alive and kicking. You know what I'm saying? This dude, there was one day he, still had the Rona, and he literally said, "Hey, I'm about to go work out. I'm about to do some squats." And I'm like, bruh, what? You got COVID? You about to go? He has a gym at home. I'm not trying to. I'm sorry, man. I'm not trying to put you on blast or nothing. All I'm trying to say is that you're doing just fine. You're doing just fine. You kicking it. You chilling. I know you've had a few symptoms, but nothing detrimental. Nothing where you've been flown off to a hospital and given stem cell medicine. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, nothing severe
Sounds
at
like
all,
Trump.
really.
Say again, sorry.
Nothing severe at all. Just it was just a small fever and a slight headache.
Yeah.
Went away.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so I know that there's a lot of people out there, obviously, that are scared and worried about getting the Rona. Don't get me wrong. I don't blame you. I don't want to get it either. You know what I'm saying? I had to take a test before I left. Hence the reason why we didn't do I think it was a Friday show. was planning on doing, Friday morning show, something like that. I had to go and get a COVID test. It came out negative, but at the same time, like, nobody wants it. And as I'm pulling up to the place, actually, I take that back. It took me 3 days to get the test. Why, you ask? Because I went to several different places that were doing rapid test results. Same day results. You just wait around for 15 minutes and you can find out if you got it or not. And guess what was going on? Every single place that I went to ran out of rapid testings. Then there were other places that were sitting there going, we charge $150 for you to do the rapid test. Either because it's that rare, like that it's that scarce, supply and demand, or because they didn't want as long of a line. I don't know what it was, but there were places that were actually charging $150, $95 to $150, just so you can find out if you got the Rona or not. Which is complete BS, by the way. Took me 3 days to finally go get a test. Now imagine me being somebody who had been around somebody that has the Rona, or I've been exposed to it, or if I had COVID symptoms and I got a regular ass job that I got to go do, and if I don't go work, I don't make money, and I don't keep these lights on in my crib, and I'm running around trying to find a rapid result test, a rapid test location, and they're charging you $150. Come on, man. Come on. $150 so that you don't get other people sick? Get out of here, man. That's ridiculous.
Insurance won't cover it?
Now,
they don't do insurance for it?
Now, you can do it. Yes, you can do, insurance does cover it. But you got to remember, there's a lot of people out here without insurance. But also, there's also a copay. So you still got to pay either the $50 copay, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is that your insurance covers, you still got to do a copay. So still, no matter what, there's people out here there are hard-working Americans out here that don't have insurance, that don't have health insurance. They're just trying to make ends meet every single day, And then they try to go and get this thing done, and they can't because they can't afford that price. You got to pay $150. I'm telling you, I went to 3 different places. So and that was just a phone call, by the way. That's how I found out about that. So I went to 3 different urgent care places. Every single time I pulled up, I'm not kidding. It would be break of dawn, like early in the morning. Doors are opening at such and such time, like 9 o'clock in the morning type thing. Every time I pull up, because they would tell you, get there early. You get there early. Doors hadn't even opened yet. And you can see there's a line, and all of a sudden the line just breaks up. Everybody starts walking away. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And a dude's like, hey, man, they already ran out of tests. Bruh, they just opened their doors and they ran out of tests? You know how many places that happened to me? All 3. Then I had to go online to get that whole thing situated, that whole thing set up. Now imagine, this is me with no symptoms. I had to take the test so I can go up and interview Roy Jones. I mean, they got millions and millions of dollars on the line. He was not playing, y'all. So everybody in my team had to get a COVID test. Imagine if I was actually sick. Imagine if I had symptoms and I'm sitting around waiting, trying to find a place to find out if I have it or not. So I don't get my kids, my family member, whoever. So I can go back to work and make money and keep these lights on. You know what I'm saying? Just absolutely madness, man. That was, like I said, it took me days to find a place, days to go get the test done. Some places were charging out the ass like astronomical numbers. which is something that a lot of people right now, I'm sure, they're going $150 if they don't have insurance. $150? I can't afford that ish. Are you kidding me? I gotta work. It's trash, man.
So I'm doing some work with a doctor that is an ENT, like your nose and throat doctor. And I was talking to him the other night, and he said that, and I just read an article over the weekend that said that the Midwest cities are way up. They're surpassing the spike that was down in the Southwest, but the hospitalizations are way up too.
Yeah.
But he said that he was scheduled for a surgery, and they called him. The hospital staff did and said, "Oh, you have to reschedule." And he's like, "Well, what do you mean? I have the surgery scheduled with my patient." I'm like, "Oh no, we don't have any beds available." So the entire hospital full, influx of patients, and it's not just there. He said that it's this is at a Mercy hospital, and it was at all the Mercy hospitals full, because we're getting 75 to 85 new patients going in that need hospitalization every day. Every day. There's no there's only a certain amount of beds, and they can only treat so many people in so many days.
Yep.
And if we're already there, and winter it really hasn't hit, that's it's a concern. That's a concern for sure. I really hope that this 90% effective vaccine that they have can be produced efficiently and fast, and actually work and not have major side effects. But again, even that doctor is like, I don't think I'll be the first lined up though for this vaccine. He's like, I don't want to end up being like a paraplegic. I was like, oh, that's a heck of a side effect.
Yeah. And that
I'm just trying to avoid uncontrollable diarrhea.
Yeah.
That's I'd be if that was the worst of it, but thinking that you could lose limbs or have some neurological issue from taking the vaccine, that's a big concern.
David, what are your thoughts? You're muted.
I agree with him. I probably would be hesitant to take the vaccine myself, but yesterday Pfizer did. Pfizer is one of the German company making a vaccine. They released some of their initial info, and Fauci's response was that if it continues on in this route, goes through the FDA, he would take it himself immediately, because he says these are his colleagues and he trusts them. So the Pfizer results are showing that for the most part it's working, and people are getting around that 90% immunity from the vaccine. And that test was completed on Monday, and then a few people, including a 45-year-old from Missouri, were reporting side effects of a severe feeling of a severe hangover or like headache that disappeared within 2 days. But
damn.
Other than that, there haven't been any severe side effects or symptoms to the phase 3 trial so far, at least in the initial report. They still have several phases of the testing to go through, and they tested over 43,000 people across 6 countries.
43,000.
Yeah, 43,500 people. And it was a double-blind trial with both a vaccine applied to some and a placebo to others. And they got the 90% effective result out of that. And it looks like, you can get these antibody tests. If you go out, they cost money too. And they were doing the antibody test, and all of them were showing evidence of COVID-19 antibodies after taking the shot, enough to provide immunity based on people that have actually been sick with the disease or the virus.
Yeah.
Interesting. It's hopefully that stuff doesn't show up and have a 3 month later, everything's gone out of your body, because that's what I was hearing was people that actually had COVID would have antibodies, but then within 6 months a lot of them were depleted, and so then they're vulnerable again. Some studies have suggested maybe a 90-day immunity. So I guess a vaccine would still be, you'd have to take it every 3 or 4 months to keep it effective throughout the year. So you're looking at, with that duration, 4 vaccines a year for COVID. every year for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's not a done deal, right? It's not a finished done deal. This is something that you have to take every single year, just like taking a flu shot. You know, it's just something that you got to take. It's not like you just take it instantly. You're immune for the rest of your life. This is something that's going to be on forever. Now, I'll be real. I'm not about to go and do this anytime soon. If the side effects are that, don't get me wrong. I mean, you know, if you drank before in your life, or if you've ever been drunk, you know what a hangover feels like. But a hangover for like, what did you say, 2 days? A 2-day hangover? Nah, man. Nah, you need to do some tweaking. Tweak that vaccine. I ain't about to do 2 days of hangover feeling just so I can be. I'm sorry. I'm not. Nah. I'm good. I'm good on it. And I think they really need to figure out what they need to do first before they start injecting stuff into people's bodies. You know, you take the flu test or the flu shot. Okay, some people get flu-like feelings after they take a flu shot, but you don't hear anything about no hangover feelings for 2 days. I know that some people feel some things. They might feel a little, you know, a little whatever. What's the phrase? Green in the gills? Isn't that a phrase? Okay, I get it. They might have that, but it's not like that. That is a big, like heavy migraines or just a full-on achy feeling throughout your entire body for 2 whole days. That's too much for me. Tweak that ish. Tweak them vaccines, baby. I'm sorry. I mean, you won't see me first in line going, let me get this right now. No. And you know for a fact there's going to be restaurants, bars, you know, public places that are going to say you must take this, including your Hep A shot. They're going to do that. But I'm telling you, this employee that's going to go and get that thing is going to go, okay, that's fine, but you're going to have to give me 2 days off. Even though I'm supposed to be training tomorrow, I can't, because I might have hangover feelings, hangover symptoms for 2 damn days because of taking this damn vaccine. I'm good on it, man. Yeah, what were you saying, David?
Some interesting, just from the John Hopkins stuff on the COVID-19 is that, since a little before July, we've been getting a very steady increase every day of daily cases of COVID. But until about 6 days ago, we maintained roughly 5,000 to 6,000 deaths per day average. But within the last 5 days, it's skyrocketed to a 9,000 per day average. So it's 3,000 more people dying per day right now, though it's still going up. So it's hard to say what the average is right now. But it's looking like, as we move into fall, it's starting to prove a lot more fatal to people. And so I could definitely see those vulnerable people maybe want to deal with the hangover if the death rates are increasing this much for smallpox. Well, the death rate isn't increasing, just the deaths per day. The death rate itself is actually technically lower since we're getting more cases with roughly the same amount of deaths. But overall, I think it's more of a tracking issue because now we have antibody tests out everywhere. We know what the antibody actually looks like now, so it's easier to find it. And also, I've noticed that a lot of places have started tracking on their death certificates and within their county's COVID registries. They've started differentiating people that died with COVID from people that died because of COVID. So that may be having some effect on the numbers as well, though. I'm not sure if every state is doing that.
That's what's up. And that's very interesting, too, because in the very beginning, you know how people have been talking. All people have been talking and go, oh, no, you get hit by a car and you die. You're still getting put in the COVID category. So I'm glad that they're able to sift through these things and find the actual, you know what I'm saying? Make it a little bit more fine-tuned. Make it a little bit more detailed rather than it just being like, oh, we got 2 million cases of, people, 2 million deaths, let's just say. I know that's an astronomical number, but 2 million deaths from COVID, only to find out like this dude actually died from having cancer, or this person died in a car accident, or this person was murdered. You know what I'm saying? They automatically just throw them in the COVID section. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad that they're making it a little bit more precise on cause of death, and that's good. I do like that. But I'll say this too. I know that there's a lot of people out here, because I saw Mr. G, Tootle, say something about putting in, like, oh, this is where they're going to be putting in the chip. Can I just say this to y'all? And maybe you guys will agree with me on this. If they wanted to put a chip in us, they would have already been doing that chip a long ass time ago. Let me be straight funky with y'all. Every single flu season is an opportunity for them to put a chip in our bodies. Why haven't they done that then? Every single flu season is an opportunity for them to, quote unquote, implement a chip into our bodies. And they never have. They never have. I mean, allegedly. You never know. We might have a whole bunch of chips just floating around in our veins right now. Whoever's gotten their flu shot today or recently during this flu season might have a chip just floating around in your veins right now. So to me, it's like, why say, oh, they're going to be putting a chip in our bodies right now? No, they would have already been doing that. They would have already been doing that, y'all. Flu season is another opportunity for them to, quote unquote, get us, as somebody said, in the Matrix. For Big Brother to keep an eye on us. Right? Just saying that out loud, guys. Huge opportunity. Every single year. So what makes this so different? Millions of people get the flu shot every single year. And sometimes it's a new couple thousand every time. Who's to say they aren't doing that? Just saying.
It was like a military study before, but where they would inject people with a specific frequency or a chemical with a specific frequency of radiation in it. You detect people that way, uniquely.
Yeah.
But like, there's no reason that that you couldn't just put them in another vaccine. There's nothing different. Like it's a piece of metal. It's not going to react to the virus either way if that's what they're really doing. So
that's all I'm saying. Like, if they were going to do it, they would have already done it. They would have already been doing it.
And guess what?
What?
They don't need it because everyone carries these.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
They already got you.
Thank you. Thank you. They'll sit there and go, oh, yeah, we pinged your phone and triangulated the this, that, and the third, carried the 1 divisible by 0, and found you here. Like, come on now. You know what I'm saying? If they really wanted to do it, they would have already done it. Long ass time ago, my children. Okay. But I'm sorry, I'm reading some of these comments. Unbelievable. But, hey, but keep, you guys are much, like, incredibly entitled to your own opinion. I'm not trying to knock anybody in your thoughts or whatnot. The only thing that I find very, very little sketch, I'm not saying sketch, but it just makes me think on the conspiracy theory side of things, is Fauci's reaction to Pfizer having a vaccine. I know that there's a lot of people that feel some type of way, not a lot of people, but there are some people that feel some type of way about Fauci. I'm not trying to go on a conspiracy theory world, but just tapping into that conversation about Fauci and how he probably has his claws or his some stocks in certain things. What are the chances of him going, oh yeah, definitely Pfizer's going to be great because they're my friends and colleagues. You definitely want to get this vaccine. What if he has, some skin in the game? Think about it. Oh yeah, guys, everybody go buy Pepsi. Fantastic drink. Only to find out he's got stocks in it. And then everybody goes over, grabs that Pepsi like their life depended on it. And he's just sitting there laughing as he's counting every single dollar. Just something to think about. Oh, these are my good friends. Absolutely. Come on. You know, they're fantastic with this stuff. They're fantastic. Fantastic. I definitely endorse Pfizer and their vaccine. Who's to say he doesn't have some stake in the game, bruh? Think about it, my children. Thoughts? Before we move
you
on,
can go ahead and say follow the money. That's for sure.
Facts.
But I would hope that. I don't know. I mean, that sounds. You're getting a little conspiracy for me on that one there, Pascal.
Sorry.
Makes sense.
But as soon as go ahead, David. Sorry.
I mean, we have seen like Pfizer and Moderna. Their stocks have skyrocketed from like 36 a share to something like 40.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's not skyrocketing, but that's still a pretty significant increase.
That's
and then
a nice
I think
increase.
the other one was like from 35 to 42. So there is definitely some increase in there, as well as a new. There's been a huge increase in the stocks of cybersecurity too, associated with medical data, which is interesting. Yeah, that might be part of your conspiracy there.
Yeah.
If that's what Jack wants to call it.
Yeah. and the thing is I'm not trying to spread some BS. I'm just saying think about it. That's all. Just think about that part. I'm not saying that it is the absolute truth. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, of all things, he's going, oh yeah, Pfizer. Absolutely. Go get that big pharma real quick. They got it. As soon as he's literally going, man, when I wake up in the morning and I need that pick me up, I go to Pfizer to get that vaccine because I trust them more than any other place. Pfizer, we're trustworthy. You see what I'm saying? It's like Jordan endorsing like Pepsi, Coke. Go get that Coke, man. Go get these new J's, man. Make you feel like a superstar on the court. That's literally what he's saying. Sorry, but think about it. I'm not trying to knock Fauci. Thank you for all your service. Thank you for what you've been doing. I listen to you before I listen to. I'm listening to science before I listen to any other Joe Blow on the street, right? But at the same time, though, he's going, I'll be first in line to take that vaccine because I trust those guys. And you as Americans, if you want a trustworthy vaccine, go to Pfizer. See what I'm saying? Just feels forced, feels fake. Now, something else that I just noticed. Sorry, I don't mean to go in like that, but I'm going. Mr. Super also said.
Man.
It just seems weird, though. Don't think about it, though. Think about it.
You are the most public health official that's been doing biology for years and years.
True.
Gives you a recommendation. You're like, meh.
No, I'm not saying meh. That's what it
sounds like to me, man.
I'm not saying meh, but it just makes you wonder if he's got skin. Like, why would he say Pfizer of all things? Like, there's been other vaccines, there's other companies that are trying to get. There's been a rat race to get a vaccine. Why would he say Pfizer over any of the other ones? You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's all I'm saying. Just seems a little, it just makes you think. Things that make you go, Doesn't mean that it's not true. Just seems a little weird. Sorry. I don't mean to be skeptical. And Mr. Super, like I was just about to say, Mr. Super said, where's Kodak's vaccine? Remember when Kodak was about to do a vaccine? It's funny because it was only a few months ago, but now it feels like a deep cut. So good call on the deep cut, Mr. Super. But real talk, what about theirs? Did they ever finish making one? Was it successful, or did they just team up with Pfizer? Which is a possibility too. You know what I'm saying?
They had to team up with somebody because they don't have scientists; they just have chemists. So. They got the biology from somewhere. They don't even have the facilities to contain a virus. They just have all the chemical stations that they could use to test it in.
Yeah.
So somebody was helping them.
Yeah. See, so See what I'm saying? Okay, Jack, I understand what you're trying to say. I'm not knocking what you're saying. I hear your facts. I feel you on them. You know what I'm saying? I feel them in my heart. Okay, right here in the solar plexus. Okay, but at the same time, it just makes you wonder. That's all. You of all people, let me finish this. Say this. You of all people know that. You are Captain Skeptical all the time. So,
yeah,
in
when
this
there's something to be
particular
skeptical
situation,
about. But when you're talking about, would you rather go to Pfizer, what founded 1849, one of the world's largest pharmaceutical companies, or do you want to get somebody that started up last year like Kodak?
No. I feel you on that. No, I totally feel you on that.
You want one of the most experienced pharmaceutical companies, or do you want a brand new one that doesn't get money from the government?
I feel you.
And guess what? And they didn't take money from the government. They funded all their own stuff.
Because they've been open since
49.
They've been making the money since 1849. That's all I'm saying. They can afford it. What were you going to say, David? I'm sorry.
What did Jack just say? I lost it.
Go ahead.
They've been one of the largest pharmaceutical companies. They probably have the most scientists. They have the most funding to be able to put towards scientists. They have the most funding to put towards vaccines. They didn't take money from the government program. They funded all their own stuff. Okay.
I see. You're totally right. And the thing that interests me, though, is that Fauci would be the ultimate one that approves it. And Fauci's not actually going to be involved in the research at all. That's not his job. They probably wouldn't even let him in there because there's probably some sort of patented technologies they're using to create the vaccine. Specifically, Fauci has to make his decision based on the concluded research. So his information will be coming from Pfizer and the CDC. Those would be his two main sources of information on whether the virus should be released or not. So obviously Pfizer can be biased. So it's really the CDC is our sole organization to kind of test that over before Fauci tells the government he can go that we can go through with it and that the Pfizer data is correct. But Fauci himself doesn't lead or even mandate research into it. He just has to report and deal with what he's given.
True. Truth.
Okay, and those are all good. That's good points there too. I'm saying. I'm not trying to I'm not trying to put any bad thoughts in people's minds. If Pfizer has a vaccine, let's just take out all the other side effects in there, okay? Where there isn't a 2-day hangover, where there isn't massive migraines and whatnot, and it actually does work without any of those crazy side effects, then yeah, great. Then I understand anybody endorsing it or getting behind it. But at the same time, I have to play devil's advocate a little bit and wonder, I understand 1849. I understand Big Pharma. I understand that they've been around for a long time. I get all that. I know their track record. But also at the same time, it's like, all right. Things that make you go, That's it. Things that make you go,
Do you already have countries buying the Russian and Chinese vaccines that aren't even out yet? So
Word.
There's obviously a lot of people that are very open to taking a vaccine as soon as it's out, or at least their government is.
Yeah.
Right.
That does go, just take this. And it's like, no, there's all these side effects, yo. Come on now. Not just some small little bit of flu-like symptoms. This is like full on, just straight up. You know what I'm saying? Not like little tiny things. This is hangovers for 2 days? I've been hungover before. I ain't never been hungover for 2 damn days. Bruh. Imagine that. So that's all. You know what I mean? That's all. And it all comes down to like everybody, you know? Are you willing to take that vaccine when it's done? When it's ready to be distributed? When you're ready to go, are you willing to get in line and get that vaccine? Me, myself, I'd sit back a little bit for a little while. You know what I'm saying? You know there's going to be a newer version or a better rendition of that vaccine. You know, it's like I never bought the first iPhone. You know what I'm saying? I jumped on when it was iPhone 4, I think. You know what I'm saying? And that even still had glitches and problems. You know what I'm saying? So, shoot, I know some people that still have an iPhone 4. Bruh. And it still works. And they still use it every single day. Bruh. But at the same time, those are the things. You know what I'm saying? It's like, all right. Not trying to knock Fauci. Like I said, I've been listening to what he's been saying. You know? But those things do make you wonder. That's all.
There's also
Go ahead.
Moderna's coming out with their vaccine next year. So it was supposed to come out in December, but it got pushed back to 2021. It seems like they're being a little more careful because they do have 2 months after the vaccine where they're still watching everyone, and they said that it can take up to 2 months, or by the end of 2 months you should have seen all the side effects by then, and they're not having any major ones.
No,
and,
but no.
But this is interesting. They also announced on Wednesday that they have they're making very good progress on their cancer vaccine, and next week is when they're going to announce their full information on the COVID vaccine. So, well, they have some interesting things coming out over this next week or so.
I'm sorry. Everybody who takes a vaccine, we're gonna sit back and we're gonna watch you for 2 months. Make sure you get through all the side effects, and then if everything's fine, we'll keep continuing. No, I couldn't do that. Neither. See what I'm saying? And I get it. We gotta get something. We gotta get something as soon as possible. But real talk, man. Come on. It literally is a race to get to the to get a vaccine, to get a cure, and I get that, but they're almost like, here, it's not even a properly gift wrapped present that they're trying to give to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I would want perfection, personally, because for a fact there's going to be people out there that are going to be running to the door. Running to that front door with the vaccine, and they're gonna put it all in their bodies, and then next thing you know, all this crazy stories are gonna start popping out. My kid took the vaccine, and therefore this thing, he's growing a third eye. Whatever it might be, you know what I'm saying? That's scary stuff. And then they're saying Moderna is this, and they're going, oh, we're gonna sit back for 2 months and see how it goes with some of the people and see how. No, you're turning the public into guinea pigs. No, that's not how it goes, man. That's not how it goes. Anyway, I want a vaccine more than anything in the world. And I think we all do. You know what I'm saying? We all want a vaccine. We all want to go back to some sort of normalcy. We want life to go back to normal. And right now, we're starting to step backwards again throughout the country. New Jersey's starting to lock down. Massachusetts is starting to lock down. Even our city, St. Louis, Jack and I's city, St. Louis is starting to lock down, or starting to step back into some old things that they've done in the past as far as mandates and everything. Shoot, even Biden has spoken about when he gets inaugurated and when he goes in, first plan of action is to implement a nationwide lockdown. Bruh, we already know you see what I'm saying? We already know where we're what lane or what path we're marching down right now. We are marching towards a full-on nationwide lockdown, whether it's with Biden or with Trump, which is another conversation we will get into here very, very shortly, all depending on the recounts and all that. This is a path that we're going down. We are walking down that path. Numbers are going up, skyrocketing. People are getting sick every single day. There are lines outside of COVID testing sites, urgent cares, hospitals, you name it. More and more people are getting sick every single day because it's flu season, so therefore it's COVID season as well. I really do hope that there is going to be a vaccine that is the answer to all of our problems, but I really do want to make sure that all the kinks are taken out of the equation. because I would hate for my, I don't have any kids, but I would hate for my child or my mom to take something like that and have devastating side effects from it. And I think we can all agree with that, whether Fauci endorses it or not. Anyway, I'm just playing. But anyway, we're going to go into a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. This is The Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight. I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more information, call us now.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
Imagination, Image a World. IDEX Media.
Awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugar Fire. Still open all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range too. So if you get hungry, come on by.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the conversation. If this is the first time checking out this show, please go hit that like button on our show right underneath this show right now. Obviously, go crush that subscribe button. I do this show Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, and I do a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday evening show at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Obviously, I haven't been doing many shows this week because I've been out of town, but we are back. We back, baby. So hit that like button down below and crush that subscribe button and be a part of the Pascal Show family. Anyway, we got to jump into this next thing. We got to talk about Georgia votes. We got to talk about Georgia, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we got to talk about Georgia and the votes. They are recounting votes right now as we speak. Woo! David got the story. What the guan, bruh?
All right, so this is 1 second.
You're good, man.
All right. Well,
I can hardly hear you.
Really? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
A little better. There we go.
All right. Which one were we talking about again?
Georgia. Recounts. Georgia.
All right. So
did the edible kick in already? The edible kicked in, huh? The edible's kicking in.
Ate them too late last night. No. Georgia, because of the proximity of the votes, we're initially going to have a recount anyway. But they're kind of using this as an opportunity to do, as they call it, an audit. It's like a thorough audit of all the votes, which normally means that they take a sampling of them and count by hand. But they're trying to do it entirely. They're trying to do all the votes by hand count this time because they do. It seems like their Secretary of State does want to see if there is any sort of huge discrepancy between what the computer tabulators say versus what hand tabulation says, because there has been a case in Michigan and another case in, I think, Georgia, using the same software that involved wrong tabulations of the votes. And in Michigan, it actually changed the results of a local office. It was like a county office. Some of the original stuff was showing that the opponent won, but after the recount, it turned out that the incumbent had won, as was expected originally. And that they haven't said that the Secretary of State in Georgia hasn't said that's why, but given all the pushback he's getting from other politicians in Georgia, I kind of take that as his reasoning for pushing this full hand recounts so hard.
Jack, what do you?
I do.
Go ahead, David.
Just the last thing was I just think it is a good idea, at least in the places that around the areas where they have had the mistabulation from the computers to kind of audit them, because if other places audit them and then see an error that they didn't know about beforehand, that is obviously super significant. But if all the other tabulation machines aren't showing an error, that could just be chalked up to maybe user error or something like that.
Right. So you're saying, are you thinking that this is something that is leaning towards benefiting Trump, or do you think that is still just backing the end result of what we already have found out, that Biden is going to be in office and Trump is fired?
I don't think it's going to change that really.
The results.
It would be right. Yeah, that'd be one of the biggest stories ever if it does happen, but I don't expect it right now.
Yeah, I don't see it leaning. I don't think it's benefiting Trump right now. I don't think that these recounts are even benefiting. I think, from my understanding, it is still leaning towards Biden right now. So no matter what, no matter how many times they go through this, and maybe there is an erroneous vote here or there, I really don't think that the end result is still going to turn over and lean towards Trump at all. So I don't think that this recount is even helping him. I think it's hindering him, in my personal opinion. Jack, what do you think?
I know it's pretty interesting that the way that they're kind of, viewing their laws and changing what their constitution says. It's going to be a labor-intensive process. It says that Raffensperger said it'll be worthwhile if it builds confidence in an election because Joe Biden was leading Trump by 14,000 votes. It says the count will be conducted under Georgia's rules for election audits, but not as envisioned by those rules when they were drafted. The audit rules call for a random sample of ballots to be pulled and the texture bubbles to be reviewed and counted. The audit would have concluded when all ballots were counted and the odds of the full tabulation was incorrect, was less than 10%. But instead of pulling a smaller sample of ballots, he plans to audit every ballot, and the sample would have already been over 1 million ballots. But he said because there's 14,000 difference or whatever, that he says that doing a full hand-by-hand recount of all ballots because the margin is so close right now. Problem is that, what about human error now? I mean, how do you, you don't think people are going to get tired or they're going to make any mistakes at all? There's also human error that's going to be included. And then do you not think that anybody that's hand counting all of these new ballots, is there going to be one person with 2 people behind him, like a Republican and a Democrat, and I guess 3 people and an independent standing behind the person recounting them? And then as they go through to verify each thing, right? Mm-hmm. There's, I don't know. It's I think it's interesting that there was some updates given to these certain machines that were going the day before the election. But I don't think that they really have enough information, to be able to change their way that they do their audits and to modify the rule just to be able to do it. I don't know. It's I don't think it's going to change the outcome of what they have. They've done recounts, in every election, right, in different states. But usually it's just a few hundred people where there is an error, and it's usually because the machine didn't pick something up because the way that it was filled in, or and stuff like that. It's not, the machine was recording, Democrat versus Republican and changing the vote once it's put in. If anything, I remember that there was instances where people were trying to go and vote Democratic in the last election, and it was changing their vote to Republican. I think it's interesting that people are always like, "Oh, it's only the Democrats."
Right.
There's, both sides can be nefarious, right? It's not just one-sided. Obviously, this is a contentious point that's being brought up, and but they say that they face a November 20th deadline to finish it, to do the recount. So they got 8 days to count.
Yeah, I was going to say
159 counties worth of votes.
Not a whole lot of time. Not a whole lot of time, and that's a whole lot of votes, man. That's a whole lot of votes. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, total of 5 million votes in Georgia with the difference of 14,000. So they got a hand recount, 5 million hand ballots.
Oh my God, bruh, that's too much, man. That's way too much, and there's very little time to do all of that, and also go through it with finite focus. You know what I'm saying? With a fine-tooth comb, let's just say, going through all that stuff. That's a lot. That's a lot of focus, y'all. And that's 8 days till the deadline. That's crazy.
So you got to do basically what, 1 million a day.
Yeah.
Because they're probably take the weekends off still, and they're not working 24/7 unless they got round the count, people, and they're switching out, workers. But even if one guy can sit there and count how many ballots, and it's not like they're just looking at retabulating the presidential vote. They got to go through all of the votes. So they got the front and back of the ballots. So does it take a full minute to do that? And you can do 60 a minute or 60 an hour or whatever, or maybe a little bit less, with verifications and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's I don't know.
It's a lot. It's a lot. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to have people working round the clock, in a large amount of people in one room working around the clock, just bang, 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 and making sure everything's authorized, everything is legit. That's a lot. That's a lot. Now, Mr. Super said something that just caught my eye. Yeah, literally, he just said this, and it's funny because it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be very interesting too to see if this actually happens. But Mr. Super said, "My dream was for Trump to get dragged out of the White House. Now I wish he'd just leave with some dignity." And I agree. I'm at that place right now where I'm just kind of like, yo, man, all right, it is what it is. I'm just using your own words. You know what I'm saying? President Trump. You know what I'm saying? Mr. President, hey, it is what it is. The votes came in. This is the choice that the American people made. You had the job. You did what you could with the 4 years that you had. It's time to give this other guy this new Joe Blow a chance. You know what I'm saying?
It's Joe Biden.
Facts. Give him a chance. This is a time for him to come in, step in, and do what he do. You know what I'm saying? And see what he can do with this whole thing. Not trying to be rude or anything of that sort, but I feel like he needs to just step down gracefully, presidentially, and let this man come in and do his job. Stretching out this whole thing is just it's just tarnishing his legacy even more. That's what I think. Quit tarnishing quit tarnishing the legacy that you left in the White House. You did what you did. Whether people think he did well or did not do well, he did serve the country. Let's just keep it real. Biden has won. Quit fussing. Quit having this little temper tantrum. Realize that sometimes winners lose. And it's okay. And let's just move on. But I do feel that there's a possibility he's going to go and get evicted. He's going to get physically removed from the White House. I mean, that's what I feel like. This is what we're marching down. You know what I mean? We're marching down this road, and it looks like we're gonna be seeing dudes in there physically removing him from the White House. Imagine the embarrassment for Trump if he was to do that. And on the Trump's name, the brand that he's been building for decades, the legacy that he has put out there, bruh. He needs to just step down and just leave gracefully. Jack.
You know, it's one of those things I'm also looking at. It just, the RNC and Trump are, the way that they word things is always amazing. I was reading one thing here. It says, because they did a grassroots donors that were trying to support the legal expenses for recounts. But in the solicitations, there's the fine print that says anything that if it goes 8,000 or more goes to the recount account, which was established to finance election challenges, including recounts and lawsuits over alleged improprieties. The fundraising disclosures show, but that means that anything under $8,000, which is what the most of what people donate, you know, at least if you're an individual and you're donating, you're probably not dumping $8,000 or more. You're probably sending $20, $30, $50, $100, something like that. And this emailed solicitation went out to all of his supporters, the official election defense fund. But what's found out, the fine print makes it clear that most of the money will go to other priorities. It goes to Save America, Trump Leadership PAC, Political Action Committee, and that was set up on Monday, and the Republican National Committee. And both groups have really broad leeway on how they can use the funds. So it's like, are they really trying to solicit money to help do a defense against it, or are they just trying to get paid? Now we're talking about following the money. Let's follow the money. That's
right.
That means that, but before a dollar goes in the recount fund, Save America would receive $5,000, and the RNC would receive around $3,300. Donations to the recount committee are legally limited to $2,800. So if a Trump donor gave $500, for instance, $300 would go to Trump's Save America PAC and $200 to the RNC, and nothing would go to the election defense fund. So they're soliciting money from people, saying when you need help, hoping they don't read the fine print, seeing that it's actually not going to go into this fund. So does he really think that he has a chance?
There are people that got his back. You got Mitch McConnell. You got Lindsey Graham. The people that most people want out of office as well, that are backing him 110%, saying that he should not concede, saying that basically this whole election was complete voter fraud. So they're the ones out there too that are pushing this narrative, that are feeding to his narrative, or they are adding to the narrative. You see what I'm saying? To push it and solidify it even more. They are all sitting there saying, yes, this is all crap. This is all BS. This is voter fraud. He should not concede. He should stay in the White House until the recounts are done, etc. Obviously, as we already know where I stand, where we all three stand, from my understanding. Of course, if you guys stand differently recently, let me know.
I voted for you.
Oh, thank you.
I hand wrote that one.
I wrote for I voted for myself too, just like Kanye. No, but we all three agree that what's done is done. The elections are over. It's not like you can just go back and go, let's do another election part 2. It's not. I think that, like I've said before, I really do think Trump needs to step back, concede, leave office, let this new guy move in, let the new first family come in, and start planning for 2024. They've already been talking about that too. There's been talks on all over mainstream media. I've heard Lindsey Graham talk about it. I've heard Mitch McConnell out of their own mouths sit there and say, well, if anything happens, he will be going back, collecting himself and trying to figure out his campaign for 2024. So, I mean, in my personal opinion, he just needs to step back, let the elections be what they are, start planning for 2024. And that's it. Like I said, this is not making things better. If these things come back, say that there's a couple thousand here and there, that's still not going to change anything. It's not going to change the end result, which is Biden has won the 2020 election. He needs to just face the truth, face the facts, step back, collect himself, figure out what his plan is for 2024. Maybe it changes him. Maybe he comes back a new man, realizes that, white supremacy and racism, whether I've condemned it or not, is not a good process. It's not a good way of getting things done. It's not going to get me votes. Maybe if I come back with some heart, I don't know, anything other than what he's been doing for the past 4 years. Maybe he comes back changed. You never know. You never, ever know. But I think this whole recounting thing is just a circus. And the funny thing is he's going back and forth from what I've heard on mainstream media, from what I've heard from people that are part of the Trump campaign, Trump administration. They've all been saying that he has been on and off. He's been really wishy-washy. One day he's sitting there saying, the recounts, it's fraud. The next minute he's sitting there going, well, let's start talking about 2024. So we don't even know. You know what I'm saying? He is flying by the seat of his pants right now. He's not coming out concise. He's all over the place, probably because he refuses to realize that he has lost this election, which is a guy who always wins. He always gets what he wants. For once, he didn't get what he wanted. And now he doesn't know how to process it. And that's sad. That's sad. Fellas?
I'm reading Trump's last shared tweet that he sent, because he hasn't really been tweeting his own stuff. Occasionally he hits, but he's been really retweeting, sharing anybody that's really supporting.
Of course.
His narrative here. And report: Dominion deleted 2.7 million Trump votes nationwide. Data analysis finds 221,000 Pennsylvania votes switched from President Trump to Biden. 941,000 Trump votes deleted. States using Dominion voting systems switched 435,000 votes from Trump to Biden. And this is from Chanel Orion and OANN. I don't know what these places are. One America News. I don't know what that is. But the places that are being shared, like, and things that he's retweeting are very, they're not, they're a lot of the places I've never even heard of before, and I don't know where they're getting their data from.
Yeah. Crazy, right?
Almost like at first I thought I was going to say it was the Onion, but it's like,
yeah.
Which I wouldn't be surprised if anything says that it's in support of it.
Yeah.
It's been shown before that could share pretty quickly.
Yeah. Real quick, I do have a comment here I want to read real quick. Mr. G just said this, Mr. Pascal. If there is genuine election crimes, don't you think that every vote should be counted? Yes. No. Any real votes, fraudulent votes obviously should be thrown away, obviously. But I do think that, yes, if there is an election crime, if there has been fraudulent votes out there, they should be extracted from from the total on either side. By the way, on either side, they shouldn't only be looking at the Biden votes. They should also be looking at Trump's votes too. I'm just going to be real. Should be both fair. It should be fair, equal. Obviously, he's claiming one thing, so they're all only looking this way. What about over here, though, too? There could be fraudulent votes over there as well. So, with that being said, that's where I do think that if there has been genuine election crimes, if there has been genuine election fraud, they definitely should do a recount. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. But if it's like a couple here, a couple there, obviously those should be extracted, but that shouldn't be like, oh my God, it's millions of votes have been fraudulent. I don't think so. But yes, they should do the right thing. If he claims if he has claimed that there is fraudulent votes in Georgia, for example, they should recount, and then they're doing exactly that. And I do feel like if he's going to claim on other places, sure, do it. Go ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's a big deal. I get it. It's a big, huge deal. Huge. I get it. Go get those votes recounted. But at the same time, if those votes come back and they're basically the same numbers and the end result is that you still lost, you need to bow out like a true G. That's it. Bow out like a diplomat, like the diplomatic president that you're supposed to be. Be a man, bow down. Excavate the premises and let the new first family come in and take over so that they can do their damn jobs. So, very good question. But I do think that they're doing exactly that. They're already counting things and everything, but I don't think that there should be a national recount. I think that's ridiculous. Unless they find out that every single state that they are implementing a recount comes back fraudulent, then I can see the rest of the country doing the same. But that would be a far-fetched idea. That's a shot in the dark.
I saw a couple of interesting things. So one is this, like, they said that there were some of these USPS whistleblowers that came out, and at first they were all anonymous and everything, and I like how the Republicans were fine with these whistleblowers.
Of course they were
whistleblowers. But there was a guy that said that they're being asked to backdate election ballots and things like that in Pennsylvania, but then he recanted his statement saying that he made it up. Mm-hmm. And then he went on YouTube and said that he didn't, but then there's audio of him saying that he was recanting his statements. So that's one that's just like one of those wishy-washy things.
No, but then he also...
And that's the thing that added to Attorney General Barr, allowing him to make these statements to other attorneys that are in the states to open up their reviews of stuff prior final counts coming in and certifications being done, which is typically the way it happens, is that things can get certified and then they can go back and then lawsuits can go. which is why that there's the person on the federal election crimes unit or whatever that put his resignation in the other day, because he said that by Barr doing that, he's undermining the process and everything. But then there was also, the Republicans brought out a person that said that they didn't get their vote counted. Well, it comes out that she actually voted twice. And she mailed it in, and then she went to go vote in person. And it's like, well, so you have Republicans that are voting twice, and but then they use that person as their spokesmodel. Like, I think that I was like, that's kind of, do they not know that before they brought her out on a stage? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of, constant stuff being thrown from both sides right now. So.
Yep. Oh, I mean, and you got to remember, I mean, there's going to be a scramble, obviously. Now, I mean, there's already been a finish line photo. And now they're saying, oh, enhancement drugs. I mean, that's basically what's going on right now. So there's a scramble. There's a hell of a scramble right now. And there's going to be a scramble till they actually come out and say, all right, it's official. We've done the recount. There's only been, a couple thousand fraud that were questionable. So we're just going to toss those to the side. Still looks like Biden is the victor. I'm sorry, my brother. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's going to change the end result. I really don't think. I don't think it's going to change anything. There would have to be such a curveball. Such a curveball. And I wish, or I hope, I really do hope that we learned our lesson in 2000. Remember that time? Gore was president for about 5 minutes. Then they did a recount in damn freaking Florida. And then next thing you know, boom. Gore was not the victor. It was actually Bush Jr. Come on. You know what I'm saying? There's a level of some level of learning that a lesson being learned in that situation in 2000 that you would hope to God that it would not repeat 20 years later. And if it does repeat now, we really need to figure out our system and how we do things here. I truly don't think that there is I truly don't think that there is voter fraud going on. I know that there have been other, I know that there's been votes that have been coming in later and all that. As David sent that to me a few days ago, or yesterday, if I'm correct, saying that there was more ballots that were coming in. More. Now, I don't want to misquote what you sent me. So I'm going to throw it to you, David, because I know that you said something about, you sent me this article and it was basically saying something along the lines of, these are votes that came in late and there were thousands of votes, thousands. And it looked like a lot of them were Biden votes. Why are they coming in now? I mean, last time I checked, when you sent me that article, that was the 11th. Haven't we been done with the elections for a couple days now? I mean, last time I checked, wasn't the election about the 3rd? Wasn't it the 3rd? Yeah.
Yeah, but all the states have different rules. They're allowed to have received things until a certain date, as long as they are postmarked by a certain time. So if the post office doesn't send it out, it's not the voter's problem.
Yeah.
That's a government business, a government-run entity.
Right.
So,
and that's fine. No, it's fine.
Their laws allow for them to come in by a certain date to be counted.
And that's fine. If that's the situation, then great. Then that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But it did go, well, wait, why are these coming in last minute? Now, it doesn't matter if they get counted or not. Still, the end result is Biden has won. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. Even if it was all Trump votes, thousands of Trump votes, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything unless it was 20,000 votes that just got mailed in at the last minute. You see what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. The end result is the end result. Period. And if they keep recounting, I swear to God, he's still going to. It's like somebody going, okay, it looks like there's $79.13 here. and you need $80. And he's like, no, recount that. $79.13. No, keep recounting that. No, there's 80 in there. Swear to God, there's 80 in there. Keep counting those pennies. No, sir, there's only 3 pennies and a dime. Sorry, sir, it's 13 cents. No, keep recounting that. There's $1 in there. I swear to God. No dollar is going to suddenly appear out of nowhere to make it 80. Nothing. Just like these votes. If they keep recounting and they're shot, like it changes what? Maybe 10 votes or something like that? That don't make a damn difference. The end result is the end result. He's going to sit there and go, no, recount that ish, man. Recount it. Still something's fraudulent in there. No, man. Sorry, sir. We went through it all. We combed through it with a fine-tooth comb. We did everything that we needed to do to make sure that none of these are fraudulent. All 70 whatever million, million of votes here, all of them are clean, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but Biden's still the victor. No. Recount that. No new votes are going to pop out of nowhere on his behalf. Right. And that's the thing he needs to start realizing.
It's not that he cares about the votes. They want to prove that there is enough issues going on that the certification can't happen. And if the certification of the votes can't happen, then the electors aren't granted the person with the most votes. And then it goes to the electors of the state. And if the electors of the state are Republican, then the hope is that they would lean and vote and give the elector votes to Trump. So they're trying to eliminate all the votes in those states, so that the Republican electors can place their electoral votes for Trump. Which I could see that being a huge, huge issue.
Yeah.
You want to talk about protests? Take away everyone's vote.
Oh boy. Oh man, the whole country would be on fire. The whole country would be on fire. Actually, it would be half of the country would be out there angry. Only half. Because at the end of the day, you still got people. Yeah, you took their right to vote away, but there's still people out there that want Trump in office. So they still got what they wanted. So in a way, you'll have half the country happy as hell because they'll go, fine, take my vote. As long as we got the greatest president we've ever had, MAGA 2020, in office. The other half is going to go, man, that's some jacked up ish. You just took my right to vote. What the hell? The world, the country. People would literally burn this country to the very foundation. To its very foundation. I'm telling you, that would be very, very bad. So I hope it never gets to that level. But yeah, I can see December 14th, as someone just said in the comments, leaning towards those types of votes. Imagine how nasty and messed up that would be. Yeah. I'd be like, hide your kids, hide your wife, lock up everything, go buy a gun, and protect your ass.
They passed that law that made it to where the electors can't change the vote against the popular vote, because that's what happened last election. Is that the popular vote in states happen, and then the electors still cast their vote for the opposite party.
And that's how he won. Mm-hmm. And now he's not getting popular vote. He didn't even get electoral vote. He didn't get either one. And he's running around going, Brah! You know what I mean? Losing his damn mind. Because you know for a fact that if he won popular but didn't get electoral, he'd be losing his mind right now. He'd go, I won popular. And he would be trying to do everything he can to turn this thing around for his benefit in regards to that. It would be like opposite day from 2016. You know what I'm saying? But he didn't win at all on both sides, on both accounts. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Those tremendous people, just tremendous people, did not vote for you. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about it now. Come on.
Supreme Court.
Supreme Court. And then you got, oh boy, that's when he starts calling in his favor. Hey, Barrett, sup? You owe me. Watch. But like I said, if it gets to that level, like you just said a second ago, Jack, this country would be burned to a crisp. Doesn't matter, because there's still going to be even forward-thinking, well-thought-out Americans out here that voted for Trump, but are forward-thinking, well-thought-out individuals that think for themselves, that are going to sit there and go, wait a second, you're telling me that you just took away my vote? You just took away my right to vote for the person who's going to run our country? Oh, hell no. They'll be out in the streets with those people that voted for Biden as well. I guarantee you that. It'd be red and blue people in the same streets, angry as hell. It'd be a sea of purple, angry as hell. Why? You just took people's full-on right to vote. I really hope it doesn't get to that level. I really hope it doesn't get to that level, my people. That's a cluster F waiting to happen. That's why I hope that this recount happens. It comes back that Biden is still the victor, and we can mosey on down the road and live our lives. But I do know I do got to tell you this story, y'all. I'm just going to tell you this story. It does not help on the Biden side at all. It does lean a little bit towards the red side. I'm sorry, but this is from somebody that I know and I respect, and they're viable people. But it is very real. But this is only one person, by the way. One person. Okay. Now, they went down to vote. They were out in LA. They went down to vote. They were voting. And what happened is this lady went up. Now, in LA, a lot of other places, they ask for your ID, your driver's license, some proof that you are who you are. Apparently in LA, you don't do that, which is weird to me. So she goes up there. She tells her name, her address, her phone number. The guy at the ballot is typing in her name, doing all that stuff. He goes, I'm sorry, man, but flips the laptop screen around to show her the screen. And he goes, I'm sorry, man, but is this your name, phone number, and address? And she goes, yes, yes, and yes. And he goes, I'm really sorry, man, but it says that you've already voted. And she goes, the hell? What are you talking about? I'm me. Do you need my ID? And he's like, no, we don't need that. But it says that you've already voted. She's like, no, I did not vote. That's why I'm standing right here. He goes, okay, that's fine. We'll just delete this and you can start all over again. Now, she was like, I could have gone and said this to the manager or whoever was running the ballots. I could have made a fuss about it, but I didn't. I just went and casted my vote. That's a true story. That happened this past election. Now, I understand that there are glitches that happen all the time. And I'm not in no way, shape, or form trying to sit here and say that there is fraudulent votes going on. Glitches happen all the time. And this is only just one person's story. But I am hearing other stories that are going on. I hear other stories about votes and stuff. But that's one story. One. He deleted it. He removed everything, and they started it all over again as well. Now, whether she has two votes out there, and she doesn't even know what it said. She doesn't know what the vote was casted for. Could have been casted for Trump. You never know. But at the same time, that was a true story. True. Interesting, right, guys?
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a like So she didn't send in a mail-in ballot prior?
No. I even asked her that too. I was like, did you do a mail-in ballot then? Were you planning on going in? And she's like, no. I was planning on going in because I did not want anything weird to happen. And she's Republican. She's hardcore Republican. She was like, I wanted to make sure my vote counted. She's like, I'm not worried about this virus. I'm not scared of it. I wanted to make sure that my vote counted for Trump. And that's real. That's very, very real. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that this happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? But I can see glitches happening all the time. When I went to vote, this time I did it differently. I did a digital. Usually I do the paper. This time I was like, you know what? I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to do digital. And it's all that touchscreen stuff. And there was a part that every time I was trying to hit who I was trying to vote for in specific categories, that it would automatically click on the other thing, on the other person. And I would literally have to like keep pressing over and over and over again just so it goes to the person that I'm actually voting for. That's real. I know that glitches do happen. I know that there's a lot of older Americans out there that'll just sit there and go boop, boop, boop. You know what I mean? And just go. I'm just here to vote. I'm just trying to get this done. But then those glitches happen. Did you mean this? You know, like those automated phone calls and your dog barks in the background and it goes, sending you to billing. You're like, I didn't want billing. I wanted to go to representative. And it's still, we're sending you to billing. What? Kind of like that. We're just sitting there just hitting these buttons, hitting that screen, and you're doing it over and over and over again. But it keeps going, do you mean this Republican? No, I wasn't voting for that person. Do you mean this? Are you for this article mandate amendment 72, whatever the hell it is? No, I did. I was saying yes to it, but you keep telling me I don't want it. I'm trying to hit this thing. That literally happened to me. So I get that there are glitches. Glitches do happen, but I couldn't sit here and say millions of glitches happened all at the same time in one election. To me, it's a far-fetched idea. To me, it is.
Yeah, and to think, too, right? And it only happened to Trump. Mitch McConnell got to stay in.
Yeah.
All these other Republicans got to be reelected.
Word.
If you're going to cheat, are you going to cheat all the way out? Like, clear the board? Like, you're going to flip over that Monopoly game, and just try to start over? But no, just well thought out and perfectly planned together with across all the states just to have just the president's votes changed.
Yeah. But you see what I'm saying, right?
I see what you're saying.
It's insane. Like, I've seen videos that people are talking about, like, well, they'll sit there and go, listen, if Trump, if it really is voter fraud, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham would be out too. It would have been just a landslide of just people gone. Just cut out of the game. They would have been ousted. Yet Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell are still in? Huh.
I mean, overall, the Republicans have been gaining seats in the House, and they lost one in the Senate. A lot of the ones that they've won were expected to be strongly Democratic. So overall, the Republicans did fairly well in the election. Just Trump's the only major loss.
Exactly. Hence the reason why I'm just like, as much as you think about it, maybe the general public was just tired of having him in office. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I guess we'll see on December 8th is when they have to file their initial certification for their electors. So he has 1 week from there to file an official lawsuit against the official count. But I mean, he's already trying to fight it, so I expect that it's mostly going to be resolved by the time we get to December 8th, because they only have 1 week to dispute it until the 14th, when is the final certification. So there's not really going to be a lot of time there to resolve those issues if something hasn't come up yet. But I don't think there's anything that is going to come up at that point. But I'm hoping that once we get to the 8th, and the states have officially filed with the government their elections, that he'll probably start losing some of his power, because he's been, keeping Biden away from his intelligence briefings and a few other things. But once, it's registered with the federal government who won the states, that would allow the courts to just kind of start shutting him down a lot more, I would think.
True.
At the very least, I expect the Republicans that are, trying to be loyal to him now and saying, pushing all of his voter fraud stories, that they'll probably abandon him at that point. I think.
Yeah.
You would think.
You would think.
Going down with the ship.
Yeah, he's whew.
Captain, my captain.
Oh yeah, he's like, man, I don't care. We're going down to hell in a handbasket. I don't care. Let's go. Recount them votes. You know for a fact it's all fake. Fake news. Fake. I don't understand. It was good. And I was winning. I just don't understand. Sorry. We watched that whole thing unfold live, y'all, with his 20-minute rant. That was like he went off like birdshot. He was everywhere in that conversation, in that whole press briefing. And then he just storms off. And then McEnany or McEnany, whatever. Kaylee? McEnany, right? It's McEnany. McEnany? Mecca-lecca-hi-mecca-honey-ho? Whatever her name is.
Enough.
Right. Kaylee, I saw her storming off because she realized she lost her job. I mean, that her job is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was just, I don't get it. It's just, we were just doing good. And, and we're just, as you can see, I mean, the numbers say that it just doesn't make, it's like, bruh, wow.
I mean,
this has happened.
Kind of see it with like Fox pivoting away from Trump. Like, they're trying to keep a hold of an audience where when Trump's most likely lost and gone and everything.
Oh yeah.
But they've ended up just instead of that, like a lot of his diehard fans, which is still like 30% of the voter base, it seems, like they just decided to find a different news source. So
yeah,
that was interesting. That kind of. They depended on Trump for so long that now they're trying to do something else, but their audience became loyal to Trump, so they abandoned them, basically. I could see that happening to other people, like people or agencies like Fox.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Fox is interesting. Didn't they cut off Kaylee when she was addressing something? Didn't they just cut her off?
Yeah,
supposedly, yeah.
I just heard that too. Like, I was completely out of the loop. But I saw a lot of people talking about this moment that Fox News cuts off Mecca-lecca-hi-mecca-honey-ho. And I'm just like, what is going on? I don't get it. Why was she getting cut off? I never found out why. But she was cut off for some weird ass reason. Fox, of all people. Now, I'm not surprised that Fox would have done it. Because Fox, I've noticed, is just tired of Trump's ass. Haven't you noticed that? They haven't really been Team Trump. They've been just like, forget him. Is he done? He's out, right? He's out. Okay. And now, what is also very interesting is how the rest, how Trump's team, all of his minions, are using this whole election to say, if we don't use this right, if we don't recount and see that these things are fraudulent votes, there will never be another Republican voted in office ever again. And I'm like, oh my God, come on, y'all. You cannot tell me that is real. Oh, because he lost, there's voter fraud, and there will never be never ever be a Republican voted in office ever again. That's not true. That is just trash that's being thrown into people's faces for them to consume. Num, 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 num. More excuses. And saying this is democracy being taken away from our hands, from the American people's hands. No, it's not. In fact, isn't this democracy won this time? Ain't it? Now they're sitting there going, oh, we'll never have another Republican. Get out of here. Maybe you give us a Republican that isn't racist. Give us a Republican that actually cares. Actually, a Republican that does what he says, like Trump. He said, oh, I'm going to do this, 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 and this. He's done some things. I'm not going to sit here and say he hasn't. But how about a Republican that wants to bridge the gap, wants to bring unity to the country, not use divisive things like trying to separate parties and separate people, separate the country? The people of America talked. They spoke. You know what I'm saying? They did the Kamala Harris thing, like, excuse me, I'm speaking, by voting. So, sit back, embrace the suck, and let it be what it is, Trump. That's it. Embrace what it is, because it is what it is. Anyway, guys, we got to wrap it up. I do appreciate everyone for being on, chiming in, putting in your 2 cents, chopping it up with us. You know what I mean? Whether you agree or disagree, come on. I do appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us, chop it up with us. This is what being a part of the Pascal Show family is all about. Okay? Just like, Jack and I don't see eye to eye all the time. You know what I'm saying?
Whatever.
I love you, baby. Hey, sometimes I just talk out of my ass for the sake of talking out my ass. But come to the dark side, Jack. Come to the dark side of the Force. No, I'm kidding. But David, Jack, I love you both. Thank you so much for being on today. I really do appreciate it.
Peace.
Yes. And everybody, I will be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Tonight, we will probably get some phone calls in, depending on what is going on with the day, with the rest of the day. I will be doing some phone calls. Hopefully, I'll be doing a pop-up video here in a little bit. We'll be able to chop up about those things as well. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate everybody who came on. Nobody's D, Mr. G, Toogle. Debbie is back in the chats. Thank you so much, sweetheart. We love seeing your lovely face and name and all that and your voice in the chat. So welcome back. Thank you. Kiss is in the house. Thank you so much. Mr. Super, as always, my soldier. Thank you for being on. I said Nobody's D. James, also another soldier. Thank you so much for being on. Lax Paint and more, and then and on and on and on. Everybody who's been on, I really do appreciate it. I missed all you guys. It was a long couple days, but I'm back. We back at it. We're gonna do some things. We're gonna talk. And if this world goes down in a barrel of burning cat piss, for a fact we're gonna be talking about it on this show with flames in the background going like that the entire time. You're gonna enjoy it. It's a sight to see me on fire. I don't know what that meant, but you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I appreciate all y'all. You guys are dope. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't done that yet. Be a part of the Pascal Show fam. Hit that like button down below. That would really mean a lot. And I'll see you guys later on, okay? Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. And I'll see you guys tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is the Pascal Show. Bye. Good show, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting.
Oh, yeah. It was an interesting one. Definitely an interesting one.
All right, I have to run.
Yeah, go.
Gotta run to the bathroom.
Yeah, you gotta drop some. You gotta drop a deuce. Okay. Talk to you guys soon.
See you, man.
Peace. Oh my gosh.
awesome sauce. Yeah, baby.
Hey, it's Mike from Sugar Fire. Still open, all of our locations. Carry out, delivery, curbside. Call in. We're delivering outside of our range too. So if you get hungry, come on by.